Prime Minister Carney, I'm using your title, and I mean, you're like everybody else. You're not fit for the role during the Anthropocene, but I want to say that before you kind of actually send people again or are yourself meeting for negotiations with the USA, is have a team compile the incongruences, such as Trump saying he's not happy with this attack in Qatar, and but I find it totally legitimate they're going after the leadership, trying to talk about the negotiations or peace talk, including the ones that President Trump kind of put on the table. Like, it's just one example of double standards, double face, hypocrisy. I don't know if you guys Canadians can pick it up. It's one of our three cultural patterns. Maybe we just don't see it anymore when it happens. But compile many things since he's been officially in power, that he says one thing and then he says other things. And by the way, can you explain to him that it matters as a world leader what he says on camera that circulates as nonsense around the world? It's not just his business attitude that counts, whether he's negotiating behind closed doors. In his mind might be when he's only expected to be seen as serious. The rest of the time he might say, oh, well, I was one of the mascots with the World Wrestling Federation. You should know that I kind of will play a role that will be good guy, bad guy, goodbye, bad guy, tough, whatever. And what can you explain to him that's not appropriate, as you go through that list of incongruences? Because it's a big negotiating point. I don't know why you're not using it. I've never heard you say, we hesitate to negotiate. Some of his more respectable representatives talk to ours in ways that are different, that are more professional. And we keep telling them, you might want to talk to President Trump about his buffooneries, before we sign things, and then we tell our citizens that this is something they can count on. Because, when you change your mind or you have two different opinions at the same time or the same things that are not really consistent to have in your head, if you're a genuine person, then it has an impact on negotiations. I think that's some of the psychological arguments that you and your team should be using, and the whole world should be using, and you've already should have had conversations with other world leaders. Like, it's ridiculous how Korea bows to the US, and the US has helped create the divide between Koreans. There's a lot of nonsense among the elites who don't want to lose, $10 of their millions of billions of dollars, while, they're in roles, supposedly, of being public servants. And you're not different, Prime Minister Carney. You have a lot of incongruences and double standards as well. And that could very well be actually why you can't use these arguments with Trump. He might be far beyond you in these incongruences and double standards, but you employ them as well, because I believe that you think that anything goes when it comes to negotiations, as long as it's not something that can be used against me. So if you believe that the human condition will improve by not addressing these issues, then I think you might not be well up here. You know what I'm saying?